I hope my file is visible.
Screen is visible. Screen is visible. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. As I said, this innovation that inspires me. So there are. We can create many things from small observations. So that is what my topic today will be. So very good afternoon, very good evening to everyone. Today's session is titled about innovation and inspire. This is just not about inventions, machines, or labs, laboratories, or technologies. It is about how ideas are born, how creativity works, and how ordinary people create an extraordinary changes among the public lives or among themselves. So innovation is just not limited to, that's what I told you about the big companies. It begins with a curiosity, observations, and empathy, an important factor that creates the innovations. So before we talk about innovation, let us begin with begin with inspiration. Let us try to understand what is this inspiration. We shall move ahead. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam beautifully quoted a statement. So I quote that, innovation opens up new vistas of knowledge and new dimensions to our imaginations to make everyday life more meaningful and richer in depth and content. So innovation opens new dimensions to our imagination. It doesn't just create something new. It changes the way we see the world, we look into the world. Innovation is always connected to some purpose. It had to make life better, simpler, and more meaningful for people. So that is what the innovation is. So as we all know that to invent something, we need some funding and all. But so that is also not actually the way that we actually start. So money never starts an idea. It is the idea that starts the money. So this was quoted by William J. Cameron. This quote actually reminds us of an important truth, that ideas come before actually the money comes, right? So most innovations don't start with funding. They start with a clear thought and a strong belief. So once an idea proves its values, then actually the money supports follows. So let us try to know what turns an idea into something so useful. So that is where the innovation comes. So let us try to understand what do we mean by an innovation. So we can see this picture. So this picture captures the essence of innovation very clearly. So if you look at the image, everyone is using an umbrella, like the way that we use the umbrella. Right? But one person has thought one step ahead and turned it into a boat. So this is where actually the creativity involves here. So that is innovation. So innovation begins when we stop accepting existing solutions as a final one. So we actually go one step ahead. So not following the same as usual path, we follow the other path and the other useful nature. It is about questioning the obvious and improving what already exists. Often innovation is not about creating something entirely new. It is not about creating entirely new, but about reimagining what we already have. This mindsets of improvement rather than imitation is what drives real progress. So now this naturally leads us to the next questions, that what enables a person to think like this way, right? So let us check. So that is what the creativity does here. So Edward D. Bono, a theorist of creativity, noted that the process of creativity does not just happen in a flash of an inspiration. Individuals, entrepreneurs, teams, and business don't just sit waiting for the light bulb moment, right? So something happened. No, that it is a process. Instead, he argues that they approach their problem so systematically. So then only we get something new. This is what the brain is. So let us try to look about this. Ultimately, the creative is a process that we can all, as a humans, tap into. So just look at this image. According to the theory of left brain or right brain dominance, each side of the brain controls different types of thinking. Additionally, people are said to prefer one type of thinking over the other. For example, a person who is left-brained is often said to be more logical. That is, the left side of the brain is majorly oriented for logical thinking, analyticals, and objectives. While the person who is right-brained is said to be more intuitive, thoughtful, or creative, or a very subjective person. So one side of our brain helps us analyze, plan, and follow rules. The other side helps us imagine, adjusting, and try something new. So in real life, we constantly switch between the two. We use logic to understand the problem, and we use imagination to improve the solutions. So innovation happens when we stop using the brain like rule book, but start using like a toolbox. So now that's bring us to an important distinctions. When we use our thinking to solve problem, what exactly do we end up creating? So is it always an invention happens, or is it something that we call an innovations? So let's look into it. So this image explains the difference between the invention and the innovation very clearly. So on the left-hand side, we see the wheel here. So that is an invention. Something new has been created here, a new idea. But a wheel by itself doesn't take you anywhere, right? So we need to use it. So on the right side, we see a jeep or a car, something. That is an innovation, using an invention in a way that actually solves a real problem. The wheel answered, can something roll? So it answered that, yes, we can make something that can roll. So the car on the other side, it answered how people travel faster and farther. So for this, we use the inventions. So invention creates something new. Innovation makes it useful, practical, and impactful for the public or for us. So that is what the innovation here is. So this is the process, life cycle process of an innovation. So the diagram shows that innovation is just not a straight line. It is a cycle. It usually starts with a problem or a need. So then that leads to ideas. Then ideas are tested. Some might fail, some improves. Then we refine them. We get a feedback. We implement them. We get a feedback. Then again it refines, right? So most innovations don't succeed the first time at all. So and what matters is iterations, the feedbacks, the improvements. So innovation is not about just getting it right once. So I did and I got this right. No, that might take many times, many iterations, many rounds, many feedbacks. So it is about getting it better each time. That is what an innovation is. So this diagrams shows us an important concept that which is very common. So a lot of idea never moves beyond the inventions. So we get an idea and we invent, but that inventions we might not be able to apply that to a common people. So that is where we get stuck in. Everything begins with a fresh idea. That's creativity, thinking of something very new or different. So when that idea takes a concrete form, it becomes an invention. But here the critical part is not every invention becomes an innovation. So many inventions stops there. They are created, admired, but forgotten, right? So innovations happens only when the invention is actually carried into practice and used in a real world. So creativity gives us ideas, invention gives us them a form, and innovation gives them the impact. So that is what the relationship between the creativity, invention, and the innovations. This slide shows some of the examples of inventions. My whole presentations is majorly about inventions, innovations. We would be discussing more about them again. So this slide shows us three figures. So one is the wheel and the other, which has been used in a car or a vehicle. So the second one is the chips. So we have invented a chip, but then usage of that chip in various parts of the electronic devices. That is an innovation. A laser again. So a laser has been invented, but usage is very important, and we use them in various applications, like in medical surgeries or in printing, printers. So in various cases we use them. So usage is very important. This is another example. The first one, it just tells us everyone, we like the butter also, and we like the peanut also. So peanuts. So if we like both, then we combined it into peanut butter, right? So that is and something, a new thing. So similarly, look at the mobile phones. They didn't suddenly appear as a smartphones. So they evolved from the smaller size, from the bigger to smaller, and then smarter, more useful with every versions. The inventions stayed the same. So, but innovations kept moving, kept improving it based on how people used it. So that is what, and the same thing is applied to the bulbs also. Bulb has been invented, but its shapes, its capacities, its intensity, everything evolved. That is what the innovations. So innovation is rarely about replacing everything. Most of the time, it's about making things simpler, better, and maybe more useful. So that is what the innovation is. Let us take some more examples. So when we talk about innovations, we assume that it is the modern concept, but actually no. So actually it is not. So Maharshi Aryabhatta did something remarkable. So he invented the zero, the concept of zero. He showed that zero was not just a number, but it is a concept, a way of thinking. So that single idea completely transformed the mathematics. So this is, since very, very long, we have these innovations. Similarly, we have our Maharshi Shushruta. So when we talk about inventions in medicines, Maharshi Shushruta stands out very, very clearly and far away. He is often called the father of surgery, not as a title, but because of depth of his work. So one remarkable one remarkable aspect is how anatomy was taught. So Shushruta explained methods for preserving and studying dead bodies so that surgeries could understand the human bodies in detail. So he invented various surgical instruments. So somewhere 120 surgical instruments he invented, and also more than 200 surgical procedures he invented. So one of the major surgical process is the plastic surgery that was invented by him, and that is being innovatively used nowadays. So that is one of our greatest Maharshi, who is the father of medicines. So this figure that we see here is a scale, which is a very normal scale. But then this has not been invented now. So at first glance, this is a very ordinary, right? But this object tells us something extraordinary. So this was, according to the archaeological evidence, this ruler was used in the Indus Valley civilization itself. So more than somewhere 4,000 years ago. These rulers were made of materials like ivory and shells. And most importantly, they followed the precise and consistent measurement. So this was an invention. But what stand out is the use of uniform decimal subdivisions. The uniform, so it just did not had the major subdivisions, but then minor subdivisions also it had. That means measurements were standardized, not approximate, not symbolic, but it was accurate. Since then, this level of precision tells us something important. So during the Indus Valley civilization, we saw so many improvements, improvisations over there. So large cities, planned streets were there, drainage systems were there, and buildings that cannot exist without any reliable measurement systems. So this ruler represents innovations at a system level, not a single invention, but a shared agreement on accuracy, which is the foundation of engineering, architecture, and trades, we can say. This is considered the best. Okay, this is a steel, but not just any steel. Ancient Indian metallurgists developed a type of high carbon steel known today as wood steel. So it was famous for its strength, sharpness, and ability to hold an edge for a very long time. So when this steel reached the Mediterranean world through trade, it impressed. It was impressed by everyone, including the Greeks and later the Romans. They just didn't use it; they admired it. So this was one of the things that steel did us. The images that we see here is the buttons, that is which were used in the earlier age. These look very ordinary, like something on a that's what that we have on our shirts or on our pants, but these buttons are over 4,000 years old. Since then they are using it. They were first used as an ornaments for decorations, but later on, people realized that something more can be used from it. So that is, they can also they were using this to hold clothes together. So that's what we are still doing the same, but then they realized at that time. So initially it was meant for ornaments, but then they started using to hold clothes together. So that innovations right there, not invention something new, but finding a better use for what already exists. The Indus Valley people even used seashells shaped and drilled with precisions. So good design, what we can say is good design lasts so long. We forget it. Was it was ever matlab, the good designs that we still use, we are still using it, but we forget that when it was invented. So that's what uh, this is one of the things that I also would like to mention here. So before machines, before factories and all, people simply looked at the nature. They observed the nature, how it actually behaves, what are the things that it has got, what are the strengths that the nature provides us. They noticed that some materials were very soft, some were very strong, and some could be twisted and woven. So accordingly, they tried to use them. So wool kept people warm. They tried using those wools in the winters. Just jute was strong enough to carry weights, so they made it as a bag. People plant fibers were light, breathable, and easy to work with. So nothing fancy, just observations, patience, and trials made the nature to be used for us. So that's creativity again. Not we are not forcing, and they didn't force the nature to change by itself, but now we are doing the same thing, but working with what nature already gives us. So sustainability isn't new, we just forgot how to listen to the nature. That is what we need to do now. We need to listen, we need to see what nature wants to tell us. This is wireless. Okay. Today, we send messages without wires, right? Wireless technology is everywhere now. So, mobile phones, Wi-Fi's, Bluetooths, everything just travel through air. So, but this is not a new idea. This idea didn't start with the mobile phones itself. So, since 1985, Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose he publicly demonstrated that radio waves can carry informations without any wires. So at that time, when none of them believed that it was possible. So when people believed only that communication can possible, they need to be traveled through only the cables. So he proved that invisible waves could also connect with the distant points and also can carry the data with them. So and that invention now we are using it in various technologies. So till now we saw what innovations actually look like. Now let us try to understand actually how innovation happens. So innovation is not one thing. It shows up in different forms. So there can be a innovation in terms of a product, innovations in terms of a process, innovation in terms of an incremental, sustaining innovation, frugal innovation, re-innovation, disruptive innovations. So these are the types of, we can say, everything here revolves around innovation, but the paths differs. So let us see the product innovation. This is the most visible one when we create a new product or significantly improves an existing one. So that is we call it as a product innovations, right? Various examples are there. For example, phones, cars, medical devices, whatever you take. So another thing is process innovations. So sometimes the products remains the same, but the way we make it becomes smarter, faster, or a cheaper, or a taller, or a smaller, anything. So that process we call it as a process innovation. So the product remains same, but the process changes, and it often saves money or maybe the time. So that is what the process innovation is. Incremental, small changes, regular improvements. So that we call it as incremental innovations. Sustaining innovations, this is about making good things better for existing users, better performance, better quality, better experience, better shape, better weight. So maybe the lighter weight or the larger in weight, anything. So that is called as a sustainable, making things better than the existing one. Disruptive innovation, this is the game changer actually. It doesn't just improve the system, it changes the system itself. For example, we can think how smartphones replaced many separate devices like cameras, music players, GPS. So smartphones is disruptive innovation. So now I am very much interested in frugal innovations, or we call it as jugaad. So this from this onwards we'll try to know what is jugaad and where jugaad has happened and how it has improved the life of the users. That is what we will see in the further slides. So frugal innovation, this is very close to our contest, doing more with less. So innovating under constraints. So the constraints can be the cost, resources, or any infrastructures, but then still innovation happens. So that is what we are going to see. Re-innovation, something, sometimes innovation is not about inventing very new thing, but rethinking and repurposing what already exists. So that is what the re-innovation. So as I said, we'll move forward with the frugal innovations, or what we call it as jugaad innovation. So when we talk about jugaad innovation, we usually think of shortcuts, hacks, quick fixes like that. But at its core, jugaad is not about the technology, it's about empathy. So if we have an empathy, then the creativity actually comes. So empathy is the ability to feel someone's problem as if it is our own, and that's exactly where Jugaad actually begins. So when we don't have any resources, so we are forced to listen carefully to the problem. We can't afford over engineering. We solve what actually we want to solve what actually hurts us, so not what looks impressive, right? So we don't have huge budgets. We don't need PhD holders or any scientists for this Jugaad innovations. We don't have any opportunity in adversity. So we don't need any R&D for that. So but then just we need an empathy or the creative mind to make ourselves more better. So Jugaad doesn't come from the degrees; it comes from the lived experience. We can implement that in case of farmers, mechanics, street vendors, and so many. We are going to see some examples there. That's why Jugaad solutions feel so practical, and really they are practicals. So they are born from understanding the pain, not from any presentations or not from any other things, but these Jugaads have come from the pains of individuals, and from these Jugaad solutions, the life had been better. The life has become better for the users. So let's look into it. So we follow for Jugaad innovations. That's what we said. We follow the heart and not the monetary incentives. So frugal innovation is actually very, very simple. It's not about doing less. So frugal innovations means it is not that because it is so cheap, it provides less features. No, it is not like that. It is not about doing less. It's about doing more with less. So that is what I understand, and I look into it. So looking at this equations, so F1 here, frugal innovation is equals to value divided by resources, where the value is more. The arrow is going upward, but the resources are less here. Increasing values, frugal innovation increases the value while deliberately reduces the resources for that. So, and by resources, we just don't mean the money only. The resources can be any time, the materials, the energy that we put into it, or the efforts. So the goal here is very clear: more value for customers, more trust for societies, and yes, sustainable returns for shareholders. That is what the frugal innovations is. So it is, on the other hand, keeps performance high but removes unnecessary costs. So that the focus is not on spending less, but the focus is on spending smart. So that is what the frugal innovation is. So we can look some examples here. I will not be going into detail about all the examples. So the one of the example is pomegranate, taking out the seeds of the pomegranates. So that has been developed by Professor Anil Gupta. The second one is the tree, to climb a tree, they have made some jugaad. So I'll just explain this, the girls one. So this is a washing machine that she invented for her mom. She used to every day think that her mother used to spend a lot of time in washing the family's clothes, which was very painful, time consuming, and so she used to think that and she used to know that they were unable to afford such a huge amount of money for buying the washing machine. So she created her own, where the clothes were kept into that box, and by just pedaling the cycle, the inner materials or the thing was rotating, which was acting like a washing machine that follows the technology. But then simply by just rolling, by pedaling the wheels, a small, very useful washing machine was created just because she was empathetic enough about her mother's problem. So the next image is about the slipper, that is a walking man on a water. So this is one of the things that he created for himself. See, there are people around the world who cannot afford even a footwear. See, a plastic bottle has become a footwear for his. So this is not just for a fashion, but the basic protection that the feet needs. So he has created his own footwear. So which is very, very motivating. Inspiring the way they look into the products. So the second image, we can see that the plastic bottle is there. So so in agriculture, actually, agricultural fields, they usually face frequent rains or waters. Actually, water flow would be there. So they need the waterproofing cables there. So buying expensive enclosure was not the solution they had. So they used the discarded plastic bottles, and which became a waterproof enclosure for this wire. See how innovative they were. This is in okay. So another which we usually see whenever we step outwards. So in the villages, nearby villages, rural areas. There are other examples too. Some of them I'll just show the examples. So take a Tata Nano car, it was not just designed to be a luxury car. So it was designed for families who were traveling on two-wheelers, exposed risk every day. So this the innovation was not to increase the speed or to make a comfort or to style it in a different way, but it was for the safety at an affordable cost. So another one is Mitti Cool is there, Mangalyaan satellite, Mangalyaan the satellite is there, and the Jugaad tractor is there where he can tow the fields. So cotton harvesting machines we do have. This is Chotu Cool, one of the smallest small refrigerator we can say. So this was developed by Godrej by first asking a simple questions but important question that it asked: why do so many households still don't have the access to cooling? Right. So poverty exists. Many of them are not capable of buying the refrigerator even today till date. So instead of designing a high-end refrigerator, Godrej, the company, designed something very, very small, very simple, and very affordable. So Chotu Cool focuses only on what people actually need. Basic cooling for milk, vegetables, and medicines. These, especially these are kept in a small shops or in households in a rural areas or in a semi-urban areas. Chotu Cool. So see, this is a refrigerator for the purpose. Another one is the Jaipuria foot. It is a rubber-based prosthetic leg designed for people with below-knee amputations, especially in developing and low-income regions. It is being used more very often. So a conventional prosthetic leg, it costs too huge, which automatically puts it out of the reach of many millions of people around who actually needs it. So in contrast, the Jaipur foot is much cheaper than the conventional prosthetic leg. So Yes, this is one of the frugal. Okay, see, we can see innovative. This is just what we see here is a lighter of light, a bulb. This is just a simple water bottle. So it uses nothing more than just a plastic bottle filled with water and a small amount of bleach if we can. So this bottle is fixed on the roof, and during the day it reflects sunlight into the room as if like it is just a bulb. So one small plastic bottle can light up a home. So with a brightness of about approximately 4 to 60 watt bulb. So without electricity. This is one of the frugal that inspires us. And here, one more thing I just would like to share here is we have Muhammad Saidullah's story. We know this is one of the creator or a creative minds. Here is Muhammad Saidullah. So he is a 60-year-old. 60-year-old. He lives in a Bihar. Who built a bicycle? He built a bicycle that can ride on water. So see how innovative it is. Just mind blowing. He did this not in any lab, but out of the need. So actually, in Bihar, they usually sees a very huge amount of rain, or a flood usually happens over there. So he required to cross the rivers very often for the job purpose. He used to go to other towns, and while his wife used to wait for him. So but due to the flood or any other reasons, on his way back home, so he used to find a water over there, so that made him difficult to reach his home on time. So he developed a bicycle that could float on water. So he attached some 4 squared plastic boxes over there, and some other technology he used, and that made the bicycle float on a water while pedaling also. He used to pedal and then it moves forward. Very, very, very creative. So this invention shows what happens when empathy actually meets creativity. The other figure is a motorbike that takes the charge of a tractor. So just a motorbike, and then he attached some other parts over there which can tow the fields, the agricultural field by himself, without much difficulty. So mind blowing innovations. And these 3, I just would like to showcase this. One is the adjustable walker. So the story behind this is a granddaughter. She was very much attached with her grandfather. Grandfather, he loved gardening. So they had a rooftop garden. But then as the age crossed, as age increased, the grandfather was unable to actually walk independently to the rooftop to look at the garden, and so he was very sad about that. So that made the granddaughter feel very sad that her grandfather, who actually liked to visit that rooftop garden, was unable because of his physically weak, because he was very physically weak. So she actually did this adjustable walker, which can adjust the base, that is the legs, according to the floor. So it can adjust the forefront or the background was fixed, the forelegs, or she can fix either the forelegs or the hind legs, and then one of the legs were able to move, adjustable. It was an adjustable. So as he lifted, and if the stairs comes, then it used to adjust according to the stair. So through this, with this jugaad, the grandfather was able to again walk up to the rooftop, and then he was able to look after the garden there. So that is one of the thing. And the second one is a student. Actually, he developed all these were developed by the students. So one of the student, actually, he was working along with his grandmother, and on the way, when it was a very dark, and they were carrying the torch, but the torch, actually, we can put the torch only to see the path, the forward path, but nearby our legs it was a dark. So that made his grandmother a bit uncomfortable in walking in the dark. So what he did is he put two bulbs in the torch, one that focused near the foot, and the other one focused at the front path. So that was very helpful for his grandmother. The other one that we see is a cleaning jhadu, or we call it as. So this girl, actually, she used to see her mother clean the fans and all, and again after cleaning, the dust used to fall in the ground, and her mother used to have a lot more work than actually what was to be. So she created a base that could capture all the dust that after cleaning the fans or a roof, that should fall on the on the base, and then there used to be very less dirt at the floor. So this is one of the creative, a very mind-blowing creative, I can say. So again, we can see here. So actually, we buy one of this the creative water filter purifier at the source. So instead of having this was a village, and instead of having the purifier at each house, what they did was they collectively attached the purifier at the source itself, so that all houses in that village were able to get the clean water by just attaching at one source. So this is again an empathy that leads to these innovations. And the other thing here is usually we find, actually the thing is a hand rest for, okay, I'll just see. Okay, so hand rest. This is again one of the important things. A child once saw his father had met an accident, and he was in very pain that his the broken hand was unable to take rest. So it was very difficult, though they tie a cloth over there, but it was not comfortable for him. So he developed a rest so that the hand can take rest on that rest holder. So very, very innovative, what I felt. So India's rural inventors have proved that ordinary people are indeed capable of extraordinary inventions. That's what we saw here. So despite many constraints, lack of education, and severe cash crunch, most of them have succeeded in using technology cost effectively to build ingenious products. So we'll just see a small video. To promote this, to promote the creativity or the ideas, so Government of India has taken various initiatives. So some of them I have shared here. So Make in India, National Innovation Council, India State Innovation Council, DST, DSIR takes the leads. New Science, Technology and Innovation Policy, National Jawaharlal Nehru Fellowships schemes, professorship schemes. So there are various innovative initiatives that have been taken by the Government of India. So if we have any, if we want to apply for that, we should go. They promote us. Empowering innovation, key government initiatives. So funding and grants, tax incentives also they do provide, infrastructure and support system also they do provide through startups, India Hub, research parks, incentives like startup tax exemptions, R&D expenditure deductions, they do provide. So Atal Innovation Missions for funding and grants examples, Atal Innovation Mission, Startup India Seed Fund schemes. So there are various initiatives that have been taken by the Government of India. So if anybody needs, they should go and apply for this. So this is all about from my side.
Thank you, ma'am. It was great listening to you. It is a journey from ancient inventions to the current jugaad or the new innovations as per the need of the requirement. And these innovations like jugaad are very common and useful and practical, and they are based on the need. And there is no collection, but the people, those who are doing this, actually they are supporting the technology and supporting the those who are willing to use it. Thank you very much. Now this session is open for the discussion. If anyone want to discuss, they can discuss. Please unmute and can discuss with our resource person. Actually, this is the innovation who support the patent, all these things. Because if they try to do some intellectual property creation from that, it will be very useful for them and for our country also. Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir, please.
That is the message what I can get. I think that's
Sir,
an
your
innovation.
sound is breaking.
Right? Hello, am I audible? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think innovation is like jugaad or what you said, it is a real word, it is a real important word, right? So definitely innovations we are thinking, when we are going in a cold weather, we are putting just one strip of woolen on our ear and we feel, that that is also innovation.
Yes, of course.
That pressure cooker, we used to cook for a long time in the vessels and with the loss of vitamins and minerals. And mind you, now we are having pressure cooker under steam we are cooking. So that is also innovation.
Yes.
So if we'll keep our eyes and mind open, I think we can find out so many innovations are there.
Yes, sir.
What is required is, that innovative mind. We have to create innovative minds as a teachers. And the story should start from me, right? So we should have that thinking, creative power with us, what I can get a message from your class lecture. So wonderful presentation, ma'am. I remember one of the story, that team of engineers were sitting, in a village and they were trying to put one wire in a pipe, a long pipe, 20 feet pipe. And mind you, they were trying for 3 hours. Nothing was possible. They put stick, they put rope, they tried to pull from other side. Nothing happened. And then one farmer was observing them. And then he went over there and he said, what happened? Why you people, such a learned people, you are, puzzled and you are, I can see you are tired of something. They said, what you will do? We are engineers and we are doing so many things and we cannot do it. How can you do it? He said, just tell me at least once if I can do something for you. As I could see you people are tired, very much tired, and you are having a problem in front of you. So they said, we want to pass this wire from this pipe of 20 feet.
Okay.
The farmer were disappeared for a few minutes and come back with one, small rat. Okay. And he tied that wire to the rat and placed the rat on one side of the pipe. The rat ran and, he crossed the whole pipe and went to other side. And that is how we have to think of, it is not just the learned people can innovate, innovative idea can be with everyone, anyone. And I am very sure, the people who are working with the little resources at their places in the rural and tribal areas, they are using all these innovations. Some of them we don't know. So I think innovation is a real strength, right, to grow further and further. We have done so many of innovations in the nutrition field, in the medical field, in the every field, the innovations, it is a spiral which is going out and out. Right, as you were talking about Mangalyaan, I will talk about Chandrayaan. AI technology was used.
Yes, sir.
And the AI means as if a human being, the AI of Chandrayaan was talking with our scientist sitting below.
Yes.
Right, and thank you. And just like a human being, he was talking and he was passing messages. He was giving some information. So this is a great thing what we are doing. So innovations, I think, is one of the very, very essential things. Just a minute. Innovation is something very, very important thing in our life. I think, the housewives, the house managers, they are also doing some innovations in creating new recipes.
Yes.
And new innovations are there. So not a single section is left, for this kind of innovations.
Yes.
So thank you very much, madam. I want to ask one question. How we can create innovative minds. Especially we are teaching. I'm from the medical field, and we are teaching to the students. Right, most of the time it happens that the books and PPTs and some knowledge or maybe some our experiences we share. But how to create innovative mind, how we can, get a more Nobel Prize for our country. So that is my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. I think so. To make the public more creative, I think we should provide less resources. So the problem statement should be given, and then the resources should be less, so that we should ask them to create some solutions, get from different solutions from maybe the process maybe differs, the process may differs, but then if we get a solutions, then I think that may lead to the creativity. So I think the main constraint here is either empathy should be there, that is, that problem should be it should be very near to our heart, then we'll surely get some solution. Or if not, then we should provide some resources less, then only we'll be getting more creative in nature, I think.
I think we should give some more time to meditate, think, to our students, and
yes, observe nature.
Observe nature, or maybe nature walk we go with, sometimes.
Yes, that is also very, very necessary. So
observe, on a dietetics lecture and a one-way lecture, it will not develop.
Yes.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your great presentation. Thank you, Sarji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, Dr. Shannon Shukla, sir. With fruitful discussion, we are thankful to you. Those who are joined new today, they are requested to fill the feedback link, because few new persons are not knowing that where is the feedback link. I have shared it. Thank you. And the others, if anyone want to discuss, they can unmute and discuss with today's speaker. हिंदी में भी बात कर सकते हैं अगर कोई पूछना है तो. थैंक यू मैडम।
Thank you, sir.
योर ग्रेट एफर्ट शोज दैट आपने बहुत अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन यहाँ आज दिया। बहुत ही सिस्टमेटिकली उसको हर इनोवेशन को मेजर आपने यहाँ इंक्लूड किया है। फिर भी उसके बाद कहाँ उसके लिए ग्रांट मिलती है, कहाँ हमारे हम प्रोजेक्ट पोस्ट करते हैं, इसकी भी इंफॉर्मेशन दी। तो ये हमारे टीचर्स के लिए बहुत अच्छा है, क्योंकि टीचर्स को हर साल साइंस एग्जीबिशन में जाना पड़ता है। स्टूडेंट बहुत क्रिएटिव आइडिया के साथ उनके सामने आते हैं, तो
जी
उनको
सर।
फंड प्रोवाइड के लिए हो या इंस्पायरेशन के लिए, इनोवेशन के लिए आपका ये टॉपिक सभी के लिए इंस्पायर रहेगा। और भविष्य में भी आप यहाँ निमंत्रित रहेंगे कि हमारे यहाँ और एक स्पीच आपके जो जब टाइम उपलब्ध है और जो आप टॉपिक आप शेयर करना चाहते कर सकते हैं।
जी सर, थैंक यू सो मच। मैं भी दोबारा से आना चाहूंगी लर्नर पीपल्स के साथ, यहाँ पर अपना आइडिया जो भी है थोड़ा बहुत है तो मैं शेयर भी करना चाहूंगी और मैं सीखना भी चाहूंगी। थैंक यू सो मच। आप जो काम कर रहे हो ये बहुत बहुत नोबल है, नोबल कॉज है कि हर वक्त आपका, मैं वही सोच रही हूँ आप इतना प्लान्ड कैसे करते हैं। सो थ्रू आउट द ईयर यू आर डूइंग इट रेगुलर बेसिस। इट इज वेरी वेरी one thing that I should like to mention. So बहुत काबिले तारीफ आप काम कर रहे हैं, जो मैं भी इसमें जुड़ना चाहूंगी।
जी जी, ये तकलीफ हमें रिसोर्स पर्सन मिलने में मिलती है, क्योंकि जब हम 10 रिसोर्स पर्सन को रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं तो
हाँ।
ये 2 यस बोलते हैं। पहले तो टीचर्स कम्युनिटी को ही बोलते हैं। तो मेरी इच्छा रहती है हम सब टीचर्स, हमारे पास कुछ ना कुछ नया है देने के लिए समाज के लिए, तो अगर कोई रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा है तो उसको लिए एक्सेप्ट कर दिया जाए। और 30-35 मिनट बहुत हो गए हमारे लिए कि यहाँ आके अपना स्पीच दे, तो उसमें से आपने हमारी रिक्वेस्ट एक्सेप्ट की और बाय द वे क्विक आपने उसको विदाउट डिले टॉपिक भी सेलेक्ट किया है और हमारे शेड्यूल में आपका नाम आ गया। हम बहुत आपका धन्यवाद प्रकट करते हैं। ये सीरीज हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन फर्स्ट हमारे बैकबोन है और पार्टिसिपेंट्स, ये दोनों की तरफ से चलती है। हम खाली उनको एक जगह करने का काम करते हैं। टेक्नोलॉजी से ये 5 साल से चल रहा है, थोड़ा बहुत अंदर गैप भी था मगर चलेगा। अगर रिसोर्स पर्सन हमें मिले तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, क्योंकि हम हर दिन सुनना चाहते हैं। हमारे जो आज के 20-25 पार्टिसिपेंट थे वो हर दिन रहते, कितने साल हो गए वो टूटे नहीं, जुड़े रहे। कुछ जुड़े कुछ टूट गए जो टेम्पररी, मगर ऐसे इनमें जो है अगर उनको मैं बंद कर दिया तो हमें भी बुरा लगेगा और उनको भी बहुत बुरा लगेगा। तो सभी हमें सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं तो उनके हिसाब से हम करेंगे और नए टॉपिक में। थैंक यू मैम। कृति कुमारी मैडम, आप कुछ पूछना चाहती है?
गुड इवनिंग मैम।
जी मैम।
मैम एज ए टीचर मेरा तो मतलब स्टूडेंट से ही मतलब सवाल है कि मतलब स्टूडेंट के लिए है कि जैसे मतलब आपके द्वारा बताया गया कि स्टूडेंट को इनोवेटिव थिंकिंग कैसे मतलब उसको कर सकते हैं, इनोवेशन उसमें क्रिएटिविटी बाय क्रिएटिविटी उसको कर सकते हैं। बट मैम अभी तो मतलब जो रियलिटी है कि एआई टूल्स का ज़्यादा बच्चे यूज कर रहे हैं, तो इसके कारण से वो ओरिजिनली वो कुछ दे नहीं पा रहे हैं। जैसा कि प्रैक्टिकली मैं देख रही हूँ, जब से करीब 15 मंथ से तो मैं कॉलेज के स्टेटस को देख रही हूँ कि मतलब बच्चे जो है ना मतलब ज़्यादातर अपने आइडिया कम, और जब क्लास में इसीलिए मैं डिस्कशन ज़्यादा करना चाहती हूँ और टू वे कम्युनिकेशन होना चाहिए। तो उस तरह का कि किसी तरह बच्चे कुछ सोचे, इस तरह का मेरा प्रयास रहता है। तो वही मतलब आपका ये बहुत अच्छा मतलब लगा, लेकिन वही है कि मतलब एआई टूल के कारण बच्चे ना उस पे ज्यादा डिपेंड हो गए हैं, मतलब जल्दी जल्दी करो के चक्कर में कि मतलब फास्टली बस।
सिर्फ आपके बच्चे नहीं है मैम, ये हर जगह का ये प्रॉब्लम जो मैं भी ऑब्जर्व कर रही हूँ आजकल। उनको आजकल बुक से ज्यादा चैट जीपीटी पर भरोसा है। आजकल बच्चों को बस कोई भी क्वेश्चन दे दो, बस उसी का सहारा लेना है। बट वही उनको समझ में आनी चाहिए अभी। तो हमारा काम है उनको बताते रहना है कि मत यूज करो, इससे हमारा क्रिएटिविटी खत्म हो जाती है, नेचुरली सोच बंद हो जाती है।
यही थोड़ा सा ये है, बट मैं प्रयास करती हूँ, लेकिन अब देखिए कहाँ तक क्या होता है, क्योंकि ये तो और बढ़ता ही जा रहा है। लेकिन थोड़ा सा बैलेंस बनाना पड़ेगा। मैं खुद यूज नहीं करती हूँ कभी, बहुत कम ही कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट समझने के लिए यूज करती हूँ। मैम आपका बहुत अच्छा रहा। मैं भी प्रयास करूंगी कि एज ए टीचर प्रयास करूंगी कि थोड़ा बेहतर हो बच्चे के लिए।
जी मैम, थैंक यू। मैं भी वही कोशिश करती हूँ।
मुझे स्टोरी याद आई मैडम, मैं आपको शेयर करता हूँ। वो 2007-8 5-7-8 के आसपास की बात है, जब हमारे पास एक स्टूडेंट था वर्मा नाम का, और वो हमारी कॉलेज की जो एग्जीबिशन होती है यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल पे, ग्रेजुएट लेवल की, उसमें पार्ट लेने वाला था। उसने वो सूरज के प्रिडिक्शन का एक अच्छा ये बनाया, मॉडल बनाया, और वो अच्छा प्राइज भी मिला। तो वो बोला कि सर मेरे पास इंटरनेट नहीं है और मुझे आपका इंटरनेट यूज करने दो। मैं मेरी रूम इंटरनेट, जब वो सेकंड पे था BSNL का पल्स पे, तो 3 महीने में मुझे 13,000 बिल लाया उसने। मैं फिर बाद में इसमें गया, क्या बोलते अदालत में, जो रहती ना अपने कंज्यूमर अदालत में, कि मेरा भी कभी इतना 1-2 हजार से आगे नहीं आया, मगर आप 13-14 हजार बिल कैसे आएगा। तो उन्होंने पूरा मुझे डाटा दिया कि ये शाम को 6 से सुबह 6 तक कंटिन्यू इंटरनेट चालू था, जब बहुत महंगा था इंटरनेट। तो वो अदालत का प्रूफ भी मेरे पास है। और जो बच्चा जो पढ़ाई करता था उस टाइम में, वो आगे चल के फ्यूल में पेटेंट लिया, रॉकेट फ्यूल में। और अभी सिंगापुर में प्रोफेसर है नैनतैंग यूनिवर्सिटी में। तो मुझे उसका सवाल नहीं कि वो आगे गया और उसकी जिद्द बहुत थी और उन्हें किया, लाइफ में बहुत कुछ अचीवमेंट किया, मगर हम उसके लिए कुछ कर सके एज ए टीचर, ये मेरे लिए बहुत है। धन्यवाद मैडम।
धन्यवाद सर, बहुत अच्छी बात थी ये।
जी, भविष्य में भी आपका स्पीच रहेगा। आपका बहुत बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच, मुझे भी अपॉर्चुनिटी देने के लिए थैंक यू सर।
We are stopping this now. Okay. Gmail, yeah, Google Meet. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, sir.